This is the AH-64 Apache. It is more than just a helicopter. It is a flying tank, a sophisticated sensor platform, and the most lethal hunter of armored vehicles ever devised.
The following program is a technical and historical documentary. While the visuals are synthetically generated to illustrate complex aerospace concepts, all data is based on official military records and declassified archives. This is a study of engineering and history.
Since its introduction in the mid-1980s, the Apache has become the gold standard for attack aviation. It was born from the Advanced Attack Helicopter program, designed to replace the AH-1 Cobra and survive the high-intensity battlefields of the Cold War. If you enjoy deep dives into military aircraft engineering, subscribe for more breakdowns like this. In January 1991, the Apache was the first to strike in Operation Desert Storm, flying low across the desert to destroy Iraqi radar sites and open a corridor for the air war. It has since evolved from the original A model into the D Longbow and the current E Guardian, integrating digital networking and unprecedented firepower. We have recreated the AH-64 in digital detail to see how American engineers designed the world's most iconic attack helicopter.
The AH-64 is a massive aircraft compared to its predecessors. It stands 15 feet 3 inches tall and has a length of 58 feet 2 inches. To put that in perspective, it is nearly as long as a standard tractor trailer. Its maximum takeoff weight can exceed 23,000 pounds, more than double the weight of the helicopter it replaced. The fuselage is built for crashworthiness. Unlike fixed-wing fighters designed for speed, the Apache is built to hit the ground and keep the crew alive. The airframe is constructed around a high-strength duralumin box structure. The most critical components, the crew station and the fuel cells, are surrounded by boron carbide ceramic armor shields capable of withstanding 23mm anti-aircraft rounds. The landing gear is fixed, a deliberate design choice. While retractable gear reduces drag, the Apache's heavy-duty trailing arm landing gear acts as a primary shock absorber.
In a vertical crash, the gear is designed to deform and absorb the bulk of the kinetic energy, protecting the cockpit from the initial impact. The face of the Apache is the Target Acquisition and Designation Site, TADS, and the Pilot Night Vision Sensor, PNVS. This nose-mounted turret is the helicopter's brain. The upper system, the PNVS, provides a thermal image directly to the pilot's helmet, allowing them to fly in total darkness by looking through the aircraft's eyes. The lower system, the TADS, contains stabilized optical sensors, a laser rangefinder, and a laser designator. It can zoom in on a target miles away, identifying a specific tank through smoke, dust, or fog. On the AH-64D and E models, the most striking ancillary system sits atop the main rotor mast, the AN/APG-78 Longbow Fire Control Radar. This mushroom allows the Apache to hover behind a tree line, pop up for seconds to scan the battlefield, and track up to 128 targets simultaneously. It can prioritize the 16 most dangerous threats and share that data with other aircraft via a digital daylink, all without the Apache ever fully exposing itself to enemy fire. The Apache utilizes a 4-bladed main rotor system. Unlike the 2-bladed teetering rotors of the Vietnam era, the Apache's blades are fully articulated. They are made of composite materials and stainless steel with 5 titanium spars. These blades are incredibly resilient. They are rated to survive hits from 23mm cannon fire and continue operating. The tail rotor is also a 4-bladed design, arranged in a unique X configuration. By staggering the blades at unequal angles, engineers significantly reduced the acoustic signature, the thumping sound characteristic of helicopters. This makes the Apache much harder to hear until it is nearly on top of its target. To provide lift and stability at high speeds, the Apache features small stub wings. These wings do more than just carry weapons. At high cruise speeds, they provide up to 25% of the aircraft's lift, offloading the main rotor and allowing the helicopter to reach speeds of up to 182 miles per hour, 293 kilometers per hour. The Apache's most famous weapon is the M230 30mm area weapon system. This is a chain gun, powered by an electric motor rather than gas recoil, which makes it incredibly jam-resistant. It can fire 625 rounds per minute of high-explosive dual-purpose ammunition. The most terrifying aspect for an enemy is that the gun is slaved to the co-pilot gunner's helmet. Wherever the gunner looks, the gun points. Under the stub wings, the Apache carries its heavy hitters. The AGM-114 Hellfire, the primary anti-tank missile. It is a point target weapon, guided by either a laser or, in the case of the longbow Hellfire, its own internal radar. It can destroy any known tank in the world from over 5 miles away.
75-inch rockets used for area saturation. A single Apache can carry up to 76 of these rockets, turning a square kilometer into a zone of fire. The AH-64 is powered by 2 General Electric T700-GE-701D turboshaft engines, each producing nearly 2,000 shaft horsepower. These engines are strategically separated by the fuselage to ensure that a single hit or fire in one engine will not necessarily disable the other. A critical challenge for any attack helicopter is infrared IR-guided missiles. To counter this, the Apache uses the black hole IR suppression system. This system mixes hot engine exhaust with cool ambient air and shields the exhaust pipes with specialized cowlings, drastically reducing the heat signature that a heat-seeking missile would lock onto. The transmission system is equally robust.
The main gearbox is designed to operate for at least 30 minutes even after a total loss of oil pressure, enough time for a pilot to fly out of the hot zone and perform an emergency landing. Modern Apaches are floating in a sea of electronic data. The aircraft is equipped with an Aircraft Survivability Product Improvement Suite, ASPI suite. This includes radar warning receivers to tell the pilot when they are being painted by enemy radar, laser warning receivers to detect if a tank or AA site is ranging them with a laser, chaff and flare dispensers ejected automatically to decoy incoming missiles. The fuel system consists of 2 large self-sealing fuel tanks. These tanks are filled with an inerting gas to prevent explosions and are lined with a special rubber compound that expands upon contact with fuel, instantly plugging bullet holes. The Apache uses a tandem seating arrangement. The pilot sits in the rear elevated position for maximum visibility, while the co-pilot gunner, CPG, sits in the front. Both stations have nearly identical flight controls, allowing either crew member to fly the aircraft in an emergency. The most revolutionary piece of technology is the Integrated Helmet and Display Sight System, or IHADSS. The pilot wears a specialized helmet with a small monocle over their right eye. This monocle displays flight data and a night vision video feed from the nose sensors. This creates a massive cognitive load. An Apache pilot must learn to process 2 different images simultaneously. Their left eye sees the darkened cockpit, while their right eye sees a thermal image of the world outside. Veteran pilots often describe independent eye movement as a side effect of thousands of hours in the cockpit. The Apache does not fly like a traditional aircraft. Its primary tactic is terrain masking. By flying just feet above the ground and using hills or trees as cover, it remains invisible to enemy radar. In a typical engagement, an Apache scouts with its longbow radar or TADS while remaining hidden. Once a target is identified, the helicopter pops up, fires a Hellfire missile, and immediately masks again before the enemy can react. The missile, particularly the radar-guided version, can navigate to the target on its own. The AH-64 Apache was designed for a war that never happened, a Soviet invasion of Western Europe. Yet it proved its worth in the deserts of Iraq, the mountains of Afghanistan, and the urban centers of the Middle East. It is a complex, high-maintenance machine that requires 10 hours of groundwork for every hour of flight. It is expensive and difficult to fly. But in the moment of contact, when ground troops are pinned down by enemy armor, there is no more welcome sight than the silhouette of the Apache appearing over the horizon. It remains, 40 years after its first flight, the most formidable attack helicopter ever built. Tell us in the comments what should be next, an aircraft, an armored vehicle, or a system you want broken down in detail.